Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Let's take a few moments, take in some of this cleansing sage, a few deep breaths, synchronizing our energies, setting the intentions for the messages to come. I'm grateful for all of your time and attention. Let's see, we've got change coming out first, number 12. Let's get a few cards and then we'll take them all in together. Got quite a few decks I want to get through today. So these are going to give us the overall theme, some factors and influencers coming through the collective where we should be placing our attention. Let's stop there for the moment. Synergies at the bottom of the deck. Of course, that talking about how we work with the situation, the people, the factors and influences that are part of our world. So there's a shift in a change in either circumstance or the way that we're interacting with that circumstance. Let's see what's next. We have the divine feminine. Did we have the divine masculine yesterday? We did. So, okay. Yesterday we talked about shifting the perspective and even somewhat the identity, and in a changing situation to expand the mind and thus take new action. So what's changing for the feminine aspects of our own personality? And this is, again, regardless of your gender, dynamic. Sometimes the dynamic card talks literally about the dynamics at work in our lives, and other times it can talk about a bit of chaos and creative energy that wants to be dealt with, because creative energy is the chaos that surrounds. Let's see. We have Universal Love, master number 44. All right. And then 3 more. Allowance, Soul Time, and Cosmic Flower coming out together. And because I like things to be in straight lines, let's go ahead and just look for one more card to summarize. All right, we have Crown Chakra, and now on the bottom, Synergy again. All right, if it's meant to be there, it stays. So Crown Chakra. So it seems that this must be a continuation of yesterday, because with Crown Chakra, the changing factor here is that we're being able to tap into the frequency of universal love. It's a mental shift, I think. So for some of us, this is really allowing ourselves to have the cleansing, clarifying moments through practicing gratitude, or getting back to your meditation or your yoga routine, or whatever does it for you. Can even be something like getting back into something that creates more harmony and enjoyment, a hobby, or music. Music can be so healing. And in other ways, I think too, just feeling better overall was the way that yesterday came through. Let's go ahead and just clarify these as we go here. I want to see if this is upright. Yes. So allowing a change to speak through us, taking time for self-nurturance here with soul time, and something that's restoring our sense of self. So nurturing our personal expression can be coming through here too. Evolving within a dynamic. So it may even talk about you getting back into the flow socially. And then Universal Love, Crown Chakra is like this opening up, opening the mind, seeing new people, seeing new dynamics, taking in new sights, new adventures here. All of this can be coming through. Integrity is the card clarifying change. maybe part of your energy was going in a direction that, or some people that you were connected with through whatever it might be, friendships, family groups, workplace dynamics, or whatever relationships or situations you're seeking information about. There's a shift in your integrity now, getting back into something that feels good for you. And this is having this impact upon you, shifting you into more gratitude, more presence. I want this one. Immunity. It's an interesting card for Divine Feminine. I think that what we're talking about here is that when we feel good, when we take care of ourselves, not only are we less susceptible to the flux and the instability of change, but we start to seek out change proactively here with integrity. It's like we're steering the ship, we're taking the lead in some way to shift something for ourselves. And so if you're making any physical changes to something that's going to be healing for you, you could literally impact your health, reduce stress, increase your nutritional intake, something like that on the very real level. But I think also that you're coming out of a darker phase, and it doesn't need to be intense for everybody. Although for some of you, I feel like this is a return to health and well-being on the psychological, emotional level as well. Being somewhat healed from something that felt limiting to the feminine, because the feminine's essence is to expand and to love and care, right? So I feel like there's been some type of hidden vulnerability or something that was feeling almost as though it might have felt like it was exploiting some level of you. Um, yeah, something taken for granted, overlooked, or something. And there's this changing circumstance that you seem to be pursuing here to keep things on the up and up. Let's get prayers. Okay, prayers underneath the deck. So it looks like you've been looking for some support from the universe to help you get away from a situation that is either making you psychologically or emotionally sick, or has just not been in the integrity that you are now demanding. So on dynamic, the dynamic is fairy magic. That seems perfect. So if you haven't heard me describe fairy magic before, it's not only that magic is all around us, but that the situations that seem to pull us into attachment, addiction, or the lower indulgent mindset, some of that is there to help us to make the choice to insulate ourselves from evolution. So it's kind of a buffer until we're ready for the lessons. Then we kind of stay tied up in different things. For some of us, it can be only one of these, and for some, it can be all of these things like addictions and attachments, lower mindset narratives, fear, blame, projection, not accountability, or staying in some level of comfort or privilege here. Not taking action can be part of this fairy magic. So it's like we're there because maybe it's just convenient, or it's always been, or it developed subtly, but it appears that there's this wake-up call. To the wake-up call, I feel, is the understanding that something isn't in our best interest, something or someone has in the past kept us either small or or unhealthy in some way. It looks like escaping, waking up to something that at some level is somewhat toxic or unhealthy for yourself or for someone that you're thinking of here. Prayers remains on the bottom of the deck. So yes, this is something you've been manifesting and praying for. Let's see what universal love. Okay, storm. So there's a storm warning, storm brewing. This is something that you may have avoided taking charge of in a dynamic because you knew it was going to bring up either hard feelings or some type of need to create some type of conflict. I think you'll know. You've got to be kidding me. Prayers is still on the bottom of the deck. So I am shuffling. Yeah, pray for or manifest some level of divine intervention, or pray that your will is somehow healed within, that you are able to not pierce, but to bring integrity into the situation. I don't know why I feel so halting. It's like there's some difficult thing that you don't know quite how to put into words, or that there's this need to let yourself just say the thing, because with change, it's supported with allowance right below it. And faith here, have faith that the right action is coming through, and that the situation, by handling it proactively with integrity, have faith that things are going to be working out and that you are going to be supported by the divine here. So there's something here. Okay, now I'm seeing right manifest prayers, birthing, and sexuality here under the deck. Interesting. So you may need to write a few things down to center yourself and your ideas surrounding this situation or partnership, and to manifest through some type of prayerful ideas that you're able to get yourself centered. So this looks like part of the practice of the soul time here, the manifesto that you're working through. It's like by centering yourself here, you're able to make something happen. And for some of you, because of the cards under the deck here, this could have to do with something like a parenting issue between partners, whether this is you and a current mate or someone that you have kids with or are considering having children with. What's under here? Confidence. So yeah, have faith and courage in the power of your dreams. And I'm hearing that you don't want to give up. Allow the faith to bolster you if you need to make this change with integrity and faith over the allowance. It's like encouraging us to make the right choice for ourselves in a situation, and to not be lured into the fairy magic zone of being caught up in the falseness of temptation to just deal or allow something to go on that doesn't need to go on. For others of you, this may be getting out of your head or out of some type of comfort zone and extending yourself socially to get back into the swing of things, whether that's making new friendships, having new adventures, meeting a divine partner, or even just a soulmate on any level, friendship or otherwise, that you can spend good quality time with and have a lot of divine feminine support in your life. So this can be male or feminine again, but just people that support us, encourage us, that feel like they accept us and they love us unconditionally. Whether it's family, friends, colleagues, or otherwise, there's this urge to connect with others, to bolster our sense of self and to enjoy and to be healthier. there's a lot of dimensions to wellness beyond just what we put in our mouths and what we put in our minds. We are very social creatures. I could talk about a number of studies about this to that effect. From the time that children are born, healthy relationships are critical. And into the elderly years, the elderly are often the overlooked of any generation. Once you get into your elderly years, a lot of people, whether they've had breakups or death of a spouse, or all the kids move away, they're all busy doing their own thing, raising their own families, and it can be so easy for those of us that are in a different place to overlook the social needs and the love needs of the elderly, particularly if some type of change needs to go on within this dynamic of family or intergenerational awarenesses. So I want to take this card out for soul time. Right order. There's some type of perspective here, and having some type of healthy boundary. So for some of you, it may even be that whatever the dynamic, again, in the situation, intuition under the deck, that you intuitively understand your value to this relationship and the nuance that goes in, and why you're feeling some type of compulsion to be loyal in this situation. You can see the multi-dimensional implications of the dynamic, and it seems like because this universal love force energy is working through you, it's creating some conflict about how to correctly handle yourself with ultimate integrity as you set a new boundary, perhaps with self or other. And this is somewhat, it can even be reclaiming your power over your own life. Let's say so many of us, because of algorithms and because of the forces that are, they want us to stay trapped in the jail cell of our technology and devices and stare at them and just be fed the algorithm. That's one of the most compelling sources of fairy magic. You go into the little black box of your phone, and you'll miss what's going on around you. You'll miss the little detours here and there. You'll engage with people socially through photographs and through snippets of cultivated text, instead of the nuance and the subtleties that you go and speak with somebody in person, and you would know right away the energy that they're in, because it's not a carefully scripted and carefully taken care of social image. It's like you see the person as they are, not with any filter here. And so and the algorithms just feed us whatever we keep clicking on. It gives you more. So if you're trapped in something such as that, it can be as easy as, so I say, but still difficult to actualize, to start. If you're looking, for instance, just on YouTube, because you're on YouTube now, when you intentionally search for things that you really used to enjoy, such as a hobby, or like for me, I love gardening and sustainable technologies and this and that, where if left to my own devices, sometimes my device likes to take me down political rabbit holes, which just it evokes a certain influence and energy. And so sometimes it's better for me to search things such as music, or something that's artistic, something that feels good, something that feels empowered to engage in, something that, like the saying goes, you can't control everything. And so if something is just bringing up anxiety, there's a better way to handle that. Instead of invoking constant anxiety and depression through what you're searching, look for ways that empower you to take action or to support a shift in energy, to set that firm boundary, even with ourselves and with our technology that's right there in our hand, begging us to just keep on scrolling and scrolling, and our life passes us by. So use your intuition to set those limits with other people and with technology and with yourself. So this evolving dynamic, the fairy magic, has no power over us. It tells us, hey, do you want to look at this? Do you want to look at this? And there's all kinds of sparkly little things that we could look at, but it's up to us. You can put that in the search bar, look up 4 or 5 different topics, engage with some of that information, and then you will reset your algorithms. You may need to do this for a couple days, a couple of weeks, or months, but it can change your life depending upon what you're feeding your soul in your personal time when no one's looking and no one's watching. Because I've had different people talk to me about they have anger issues, or they have this other thing that has been decades long or longer, or a life trend that they can't seem to get out of. And whatever it is, whether it's depression, loneliness, self-doubt, any of these things, we need to be fearless. Here is the next card coming out over the top of the cosmic flower, with the way that we're choosing to evolve ourselves. We need to not engage in the fear rhetoric, but in love. A lot of people say, I just saw 2121. It's like fear versus love, that angel versus the devil on the shoulders, always yapping in our ears, trying to say, oh, no, 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 everything's not perfect. Look over here. There's so much to get yourself all twisted and bent over here. Just look at this. Just look at this. Oh, and look at this. Isn't this cute? These puppies all day long. Meanwhile, over here, the divine is kind of like, don't you want to talk to one of your friends? Don't you want to know what's going on in people's lives? Wouldn't you love to tell people some of the things that you've been thinking of feeling, and blah, 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 for instance. So it looks like there's this counteractive influence here, because the fairy magic is trying to wake us up. It's trying to help us stay comfy and tucked in as long as we want to stay sleeping. But the moment that we're saying, well, this isn't making me happy, this isn't fulfilling, instead of having a cookie, I think I want to have some fresh fruit. Whatever intuitively is coming in, you're taking back power and control. And also, diagonal from each other, this fairy magic and right order, it's both helping and hindering, and it's up to us. It's helping us to learn how to get ourselves back from some point of chaos or distraction energy here. And under the deck at this time, we have voice. So using your voice as your choice. The vibrational healing here is about the way that we're allowing our energy to change our very DNA. Yeah, full stop, right? So, okay, let's get our crown chakra clarifier. So what energy does Spirit want us to know about the universal loves creating storms in our life to help us become aware? Manifest the cosmic soul essence that wants to really ground into your body. And one more here. Okay, 2. Under the deck, we have gifted, and the 2 here that wanted to come out. Oh, there's 3. Wow. 1 became 2, became 3. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. So if you're manifesting something, okay. So when I first picked up the deck to check if it was upright, birthing was under the deck. That came out yesterday. So we're definitely rebirthing the self. We're being told that we're gifted as manifestors that can conceive of anything and shift a dynamic and create in that way. And these are some of the gifts. So transmutation of any lower energies, any distraction energies into something higher, healthier, shifting a dynamic. Maybe you can't or won't give up on the situation or individual here. Just setting new boundaries helps create a new dynamic, perhaps for some of you, and really uplifts the dynamic so that you can stay loyal without being disloyal to yourself or to your soul needs, because something here is out of alignment with the integrity that you're demanding. And so be fearless in speaking these things into being, because it'll help you tremendously in the manifestation of everything else that you're trying to bring in. Because with that 1, 2, 3, it's also like, for some of you, maybe you're really looking for that divine partnership or best friend or familiar, even going and adopting an animal. It's like one relationship leading to the next, or one decision or shift in content can really give way to inspiration that then is like, oh, well, wow, that one really brought this thing to my mind, or I had never heard of this concept. I want to look a little bit more at that. And suddenly, instead of just being like, la la, and you're scrolling, it's more like, ooh, intentional. I want to look this up. And so cross-referencing, it makes it more dynamic in general, so that now you are leading the charge. You're starting to follow the spark of spontaneous cosmic interest and inspiration. So part of your gifts can be unlocked in that way. And I think too, writing some of these things down, centering yourself in that way, it's going to gift you with the ideals that you're working with. It's going to support your ability to unlock, like, why do you keep facing these things? Because it's part of your soul destiny to take care of not only yourself, but to be a caretaker of other individuals. So I feel that there's this multi-situational in your life evolution going on, where it's yourself changing, and thus the need to shift and change the dynamics that surround you, the environments and the people, and the way that they are allowed to interact with you. I'm going to take this one. Help appears in various ways. Yes, through the prayers and the manifestation process and the reordering, redefining how you're going to spend your time is part of that divine intervention that's reminding you to come out of the fairy magic of the sleep-inducing hypnotic, gaslighting and mass hypnosis. I don't mean to sound any type of way, but it is what it is. There's much support for you. Sometimes you may get so adrift that you forget to look to the support systems that are with you continually. So it looks like you've got a strong base, a strong support from the divine. Even the fairy magic that's distracting you is supporting you in some ways. And 15, adrift in shallow waters. That's the fairy magic of the distraction energy and getting caught up in the superficial, surface level dynamics. Like, okay, yeah, maybe this person might exploit you on the surface level by monopolizing your time or your attention, because if you look deeper than the shallow waters, maybe they're lonely, maybe they're needy, maybe they're broken here. But if you can get into the depth of the situation, that's where your ability to be a caretaker is being somewhat catalyzed to look beyond the surface level and to any ego fears that you're being used or exploited, and to understand how to tap into something quite profound within your own inner nature, wanting to step forward. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. And so maybe if you've got this difficult conversation to have with someone else, maybe that's also where you can help a person to feel that you're not turning your back on them by calling out the good times as well, or the good points, like putting in your 2-week notice. It's like, I really appreciate all of the growth I've had here and the various support that I've had in this position. However, it's time for me to put my notice in and da da da. You know, it's like asking very politely, like, you know, it'd be a real great honor if I could use you as a personal reference, or if I could speak about the climate of this job because it's been so integral to my development, blah, blah. Yeah, difficult conversations. Letting yourself look to the depth and the complexity can help you to use this as a building block and not come in with the wrecking ball and ruin a foundation that could be built upon in a different way. So yeah, you're really tapping into your integrity in this way. Some animal totems. Oh, we have personal choice as the first one out, which is all about what we've been talking about here. Close your eyes to take that moment of introspection. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities within yourself. Yeah, it's time for this personal evolution. And underneath the deck, amazing. At the very beginning, when we were talking about that fairy magic, I was speaking about the trickster energy, and I didn't voice it. We had voice here. But Coyote is the trickster and also the revealer of truth. So any distraction isn't a waste of time. It's ultimately something that helps us to reveal a deeper truth about ourselves and about other people, and why that mutual receptivity needed to happen. And this can also be in toxic relationships, such as the empath with the narcissist, or the selfish one and the unselfish person here. It's like we need to understand how the mirror is showing up, either a need for a boundary, a need for an adventure, a need to recognize, or, you know, a need to witness ourselves and how we can also embody those lower energies from time to time. Don't take things too seriously, especially at this time, and make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Very nice. So I wanted to get some tarot on this as well, but we're out of time. Let's see if we can get one more oracle card from the Kali Kuan Yin deck to support our Divine Mother energy that wants to speak through the Divine Feminine here. We've got Weave the Future Golden 44 under the deck, master number, talking about our ability to make our future happen. Kundalini Shakti with Dynasty of the Divine Mother. We are part of a very cosmic, ongoing momentum to draw that Kundalini up within ourselves and with others. And sometimes conflict resolution can be part of that, engaging in our own passionate energies. And then when we can unlock that and see ourselves as the universal force of love, then we can understand shadow and light and temptation, and be a force for this nurturing divine spark in our lives. And we can really unlock the future for the collective. So take good care of yourselves. Until next time.